Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Aftergut. I am a product marketing manager with the NiCE Employee Engagement Manager product, NiCE EEM for short. It is a key component of the intelligent WFM suite offered by NiCE, and I'm excited to be able to run through an overview with you today here on NiCE EEM. I think you'll find that it's a very modern, future-ready product, NiCE EEM. It really adds a lot to the WFM suite, and in particular is really tailor-made for conversations that we're all having right now around work from anywhere, work from home, hybrid models, and of course the autonomy that the employee is increasingly looking for, as well as the agility and workforce management that organizations we work with are increasingly looking for. So with that, just a quick overview on the NiCE WFM suite powered by AI-based technology. Of course, we've got core WFM, which is what has made NiCE really a standout vendor for so many years with forecasting and scheduling and intraday management, again, powered by AI and machine learning. And then we've got Enhanced Strategic Planner, or ESP for short, which is relatively newer to the suite. That is our long-term planning product that's part of the suite. And then on the right-hand side, we've got NiCE EEM, which is within the domain of intraday management in a more near-term time frame of the workforce management domain, where NiCE adds a layer of intelligent automation technology to WFM to drive greater efficiency, as well as employee engagement on the end user side. So diving into EEM specifically and the domain that we're addressing with NiCE EEM, we can ask ourselves what fundamentally are some of the high-level challenges, business challenges that we're looking to solve for our customers, and how does EEM map to that? So one way of looking at that, of course, is on the cost side or the operational side, which is that when it comes to intraday management and scheduling in the contact center, there are many pockets of inefficiency that can be found, which when applying intelligent automation to them, we can drive tremendous value for the organization and, of course, the employee engagement as well, which we will get into. So jumping into the solution at a high level, what is EEM's intelligent intraday automation? Again, NiCE EEM, as we saw just a couple slides ago, is that component of the NiCE WFM suite, which is focused on the intraday and near-term time frame within the suite. So what is it that we're actually doing? So starting from the top of the slide here, what you see is a representation of the staffing gaps, the variances that inevitably emerge after the WFM schedule has been published. This is key. So EEM is adding a tremendous amount of automation in that time frame after the schedule's been published by WFM. And as we know, inevitably, there are fluctuations in both demand for agents and the supply of those agents. So what EEM is doing is represented on the left-hand side of the screen by this configuration layer. It's dynamically looking for the best fit agents, either to fill understaffed gaps, or to deal with overstaffing, or to enable a shifting around, a swapping of schedules based on skills and agent profiles. And EEM contains a very sophisticated set of capabilities for communicating with agents in a variety of ways to make those schedule change opportunities visible to them. So this is really, satisfying the agent by making them aware of schedule change opportunities they wouldn't otherwise be aware of, and at the same time, very rapidly and flexibly addressing those intraday and near-term staffing gaps. So we use the term intraday to describe the time frame that EEM is operating in, but EEM is actually operating up to several weeks out from the point that the WFM schedule has been published. So it's basically intraday and up to several weeks into the future. So how are employees interacting with the application? Of course, we've got this engine, which I showed you represented in the prior slide, but the end user is interacting with the application in a variety of ways. How are they engaging with that? So we can really categorize the way that employees and agents interact with EEM in two ways. One is through self-service, 24/7 self-service, and that's shown on the left-hand side of the screen. It's through a mobile app, as you can see, and a browser-based application that they can have on their desktop. And the functionality is at parity between the two, meaning all functions that you can access through the mobile app are likewise available through the browser-based application. In addition to that, there's push offers of schedule change opportunities and other types of alerts, which I'll get into in a bit, which can be communicated to the agent via automated text message, via automated email, or via alert pop-up, which can hover on top of the desktop screen. So a lot of flexibility here in terms of the way that EEM out of the box has a variety of tools to communicate with agents. So I want to show you here in this slide how taking the core EEM technology, we can not only solve complex staffing challenges, but the same technology can be repurposed to drive behavior change and other types of actions that drive performance. So looking at this schematic of the way that EEM works, we can think of it as being comprised of three key components. So there's a WFM data feed that's represented at the top, meaning all metrics that are brought in to WFM are available within EEM because the two technologies are natively integrated within the NiCE suite. And so then we've got this complex, sophisticated rules engine that can drive a variety of actions based on these metrics. Could be occupancy, average handle time, after call work, any of these metrics that are ultimately derived from the ACD coming into WFM can be calculated on using this engine. And then we can communicate to both agents and managers in a variety of ways, again, using text or push notification, alert pop-up, and so forth. So there's really a lot of flexibility and a lot of options to drive action within the contact center beyond the staffing optimization, which is the classic use case of EEM, which is a tremendous value, but there's so much more because of this flexible technology. For instance, if you can read it on the right-hand side of your screen, we see here a sample alert where the agent basically is being nudged for the purpose of task switching. So they're being told that, phone's been canceled, they should now move to email, and then they can be brought back from email to get back on the phone, for instance. Just an example here. So let's look at a few more use cases illustrated so you can sort of picture a day in the life with NiCE EEM. Here's an example of an employee who's been working from home, or could be a hybrid employee, home and office worker, that is off the clock, but can receive a notification from EEM on their positive performance. So in this case, you've maintained your SLA goal, so they're being notified of positive performance, which reinforces good behavior. And especially when these agents are working remotely, sort of on a virtual island, so to speak, without their team, this can really help them feel like their performance is being recognized. And by the way, likewise, this type of notification on their KPIs can be sent to their supervisor. Another example is when the employee is on the clock, when they are working, and for instance, might need some real-time course correction. The supervisor isn't over their shoulder. The agent is not in the call center environment necessarily where the tempo of the environment is helping them keep on track. And so here the agent is receiving an alert pop-up on their desktop, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, telling them that AHT is trending high. So there's another example of how the intelligent intraday automation technology of EEM can really help in real time at a personalized level for the agent. One more example for you here is an agent who's taking a break. They're taking lunch. They're working from home, and the EEM technology is also able to provide time in state alerts, which is what we call them. So, for instance, if they're taking a break that's too long, if they've been idle, if they're running late for a shift, and so forth, so they can get those personalized notifications to keep them on track in that case. So really a lot of value there. And if we were to summarize, what we can say is that NiCE EEM is providing guidance to a variety of role types in the contact center. And these are, again, just some examples by role type where the employee can be guided on the left-hand side of the screen, both in terms of schedule opportunities, schedule change opportunities that they take advantage of, as well as guided in terms of their performance, whether that's based on their KPIs or time and state activity. As well, the manager or the supervisor can be guided to provide feedback, to provide constructive feedback if multiple team members or a single team member isn't performing well, or to provide positive reinforcement if they are doing well. And then finally, very importantly, a lot of value here, which is that workforce managers, analysts, real-time coordinators, they are receiving guidance from EEM when it comes to staffing optimization. If you recall several slides back towards the beginning, we talked about how EEM is dynamically identifying staffing gaps or variances in order to find the best fit agents. So what it can do in terms of guidance for the workforce manager is it can shortlist or pre-select certain agents based on characteristics that would be a best fit for a schedule change, whether that might mean adding hours to their schedule, or offering them to take some voluntary time off or paid time off, for instance. So really a guidance being provided to team members of several role types in the contact center organization. All right, so let's talk about competition. There's certainly a lot to say. This is just high level, looking at a couple of objections and how we respond within the context of, you know, a competitive conversation, or a conversation where another vendor has entered into the conversation. So one would be that EEM is expensive. We're certainly not giving this product away. So some are under the impression, if they haven't really been made aware of the full value and the ROI, they say to themselves, it's expensive. You know, another vendor is giving away its mobile app. So what's important to point out here is EEM is much, much more than simply a mobile app or a mobile viewer attached to WFM. It has a very sophisticated engine that is working in real time to dynamically optimize staffing levels, and also to drive action in the contact center through those variety of alerts, for instance, that I showed you as well. So there's a lot of ROI here, the tremendous savings when it comes to staffing optimization, since you're optimizing headcount. In addition, the automation that's provided when it comes to the schedule change processing and related activities of the workforce manager. So all that automation is driving a tremendous amount of labor savings on the admin side of the contact center. So there's a lot of ROI, and we can provide further support to you on ROI frameworks and calculators and so forth. Another objection that can come up is NiCE EEM is nice to have for us. We already have some tool set to handle our intraday management needs. So The way to address that is to explain that EEM is providing guidance to your workforce management team, and as I pointed out, to supervisors, agents. It's just providing comprehensive guidance to the organization, which is adding quite a bit of value. So we wouldn't even necessarily be automating workforce managers out of a job. It's more like EM is more like a virtual employee that's really adding efficiencies to the organization so that your employees can spend more time on high value tasks, or higher value tasks than just repetitive admin type work around schedule changes or communication around KPIs and so forth. So tremendous amount of value. Who is the target customer? So typically the conversations that we have about EEM are with the same folks that we'd have conversations about workforce management. So a head of the contact center, just generically described. So it could be a VP, a director of contact center operations, senior team members on the workforce management team. Because EEM is driving employee engagement and is key to many companies' employee engagement initiatives, since it's providing that excellent flexibility to employees to change their schedules on the fly. Human resources could be part of an initial discussion as a foot in the door. So can finance, in terms of the cost savings, really substantial cost savings that are being generated by the automation of EEM and being able to automate so much of the admin process and being able to improve those staffing levels through the staffing optimization. In terms of the types of organizations that are a good fit for EEM, so we're talking about any type of contact center across any industry. And the best fit is in the case where there are 300 or more agents in the contact center. The reason for that is that the more agents, generally speaking, the more dynamic marketplace, if you will, of schedule change opportunities that exist, because some agents are, adding hours, some are removing, and you've got others that are, doing the same. And so you can find that equilibrium more easily and provide more options to all agents, no matter what they want to be doing, adding, removing, swapping hours, trading hours, when you have a critical mass of agents. That being said, there is an offering via CX1. It is sort of a peer product called CX1 Engagement Manager that can be offered to smaller groups of agents. It's not at the moment exactly on par with EEM in all ways, since it's being rolled out in phases. So that is sort of a simpler solution, if you will, for smaller installations potentially. Customer profile, say NiCE WFM customers, any prospect that has or feels that they need a WFM solution would be a candidate for NiCE EEM. One thing that's key to know is, of course, WFM is a prerequisite for EEM. EEM cannot operate without sitting on top of the WFM platform and taking in all that data. And then, we discussed about the user persona. So it's agents, supervisors, workforce managers, analysts, and so on. They're all interfacing directly with NiCE EEM as an add-on, if you will, but a native solution to the WFM suite. So identifying good EEM opportunities, there are many ways to initiate a discussion. So it could be around understaffing and overstaffing conditions, or putting it another way, improving net staffing of the contact center, employee satisfaction initiatives, employee engagement initiatives. We've got data on significant improvements to employee satisfaction in connection with scheduling. We also have data just more broadly from the marketplace and third parties on the importance of scheduling flexibility to employees nowadays, especially to the younger generation that's used to much more autonomy, and the fact that scheduling flexibility can actually drive employee retention. So, attrition, or putting it another way, retention initiatives could be a driver. Also, just simply cost savings, because the automating many tasks that would otherwise be done manually or semi-manually around analysis of net staffing, initiating schedule changes, communicating with agents, and so on. So the labor associated with the admin at the intraday management level. So the fact that we can automate so much of that really can drive significant ROI, as of course can the staffing optimization. And then technology initiatives. So if the customer's upgrading to the latest version of WFM, if they are looking to migrate WFM to the cloud, or they have a mobile initiative for their employees, these would be technology initiatives that would be a great opportunity for initiating a conversation about NiCE Employee Engagement Manager. Here is what a number of end users, agents, have said. This is actually from a customer of ours from one of the biggest banks in the US that took a survey of their own employees to get a sense of how they feel about NiCE EEM and having the opportunity to make changes to their schedules on the fly, on short notice, with a lot of flexibility. I'll just read them out for you. This is unheard of. The bank is being so flexible and investing in tools to help retain the best talent. It sounds like that might have been from a supervisor. This one is, I think this is what we needed while we're on the go. Another, I can make plans knowing my schedule change was approved and not pending. This is key because EEM has a patented technology that allows for pre-approved schedule changes. What that means is, for instance, if you see in this screenshot to the right, the green time off available, what that means is that when the agent sees it in green, it is automatically pre-approved, meaning if they just slide that cell to the left, they will automatically get that time off. So there's no wait time to know if they've been approved. They've been pre-approved. Likewise with the swaps that you see here as another example, those pink or purple cells there that say request swap, that it allows for the agent to move their hours from one day to another, and it can be done at the 30-minute interval level. So those are also automatically pre-approved. So a complex schedule change the agent can make on their own without needing approval from an intermediary in the organization. And lastly, I don't adapt to technology easily, but this is so useful. Well, the user experience, the UX of NiCE EEM is really top-notch. As you can see, very slick user interface. Usability is very elegant and simple, while being underpinned by a very sophisticated and powerful rules engine. Okay, how does EEM add value to the portfolio? So this can be seen in terms of employee engagement and satisfaction and performance, represented by the left side of the slide here, as well as operational efficiency and improvements represented on the right-hand side, with staffing optimization for the contact center and WFM process efficiency. Now, here's just a selection of questions that you could pose to the prospect or to the customer to get the conversation going and to learn more about whether they would be a fit for this type of solution. So I'll just read them out for you. How do you usually monitor and forecast near-term staffing variances? So what we're trying to understand there is, is there a manual process in place? Is it semi-manual? How long does it take? Who's involved, and so on? How do you usually address understaffing or overstaffing? And here we're particularly talking about the intraday and near-term time frame, of course. And how do you usually maintain occupancy, especially with remote agents? Another great question. EEM, of course, is quite significantly improving occupancy. What tools do you use to reduce manual labor of workforce managers? As I've mentioned a number of times, the automation of EEM is really reducing manual labor in connection with intraday analysis and schedule change processing. What tools do you leverage to provide scheduling flexibility to agents and reduce variances? So another way of putting it is, do you have a tool that at the same time can both give your agents flexibility and let them make a variety of changes, and at the same time have those changes by definition benefit the contact center's staffing levels? So just wrapping up here in terms of content available to you at this website, at this web address that you see on the left-hand side of the screen, we actually have a library of short videos. Each clip is approximately 5 minutes in length that really provide a virtual tour of NiCE EEM, our solution for intelligent intraday automation that's part of the WFM suite. This really gets into some details, a little bit of the nitty-gritty, which I think you'll appreciate, especially the videos that are almost like training videos that go through step-by-step how actions can be taken in the product by the employee. And then there are also some videos there that are more of a marketing nature that sort of touch on the ROI of EEM at a higher level. This is another view of marketing resources. This is actually just a selection. We have even more than this, but we've got a very popular white paper on how NiCE's intelligent intraday automation is enabling work from home agents, and that's been a very popular asset. We've got a couple videos on the same topic. One video is from the agent's perspective, one is from the supervisor perspective, and how this technology can help team members in a work from home environment. We've issued some press releases. One is really cool that we issued, during those tense times in the early days of COVID, serious times certainly, but we found that the application was helping companies really adapt extremely quickly with elasticity, if you will, in terms of, employees needing to take time off, for instance, in the case of the hospitality industry, where things changed dramatically and that industry was hit very hard. And then likewise in other industries where the product is used, where there was a surge in inbound calls, for instance, in financial services and insurance and so forth. So really interesting press release there that we got a lot of mileage out of, frankly. We have lots of value prop slideware. I've shared just some of it with you today in this presentation. We've got ebooks, more than just these two ebooks, but we have an overview of the product in an ebook. We have thought leadership ebooks. We have case studies. Specifically, we've got Sallie Mae, which is a lender in the US, TD Bank, a very large bank based in Canada, Metro Bank is based in the UK. And then we've got a blog series on that gets into quite a bit of detail around work from home challenges and how the EEM product solves those challenges. So with that, I hope you found this session very valuable and informative, and please do check out www.nice.com/EEM for more information. Thanks so much.